Hello, hello, hello. Facebook, happy Friday. How are you doing? And figured we'd shoot this live earlier today. Had some was on with Master Investor Tribe earlier, answering some questions and just having a good time. And so figured I'm already down here. Why not just get another live going and get that done for today? So 30 seconds in, give people some time to come on. And we'll start talking about the two things that help make decisions easier in your business. So what we're talking about, we're talking about real estate investing, and what I thought one of my kids was talking to me. All right. So what we're talking about in real estate investing is, especially when you're starting, when you're getting into it, when you're also looking to level up and start building your business, we run into some things that cause analysis paralysis. And especially for new people and the people that have been doing it a while, what ultimately ends up happening is we start getting the noise, we start getting the overwhelm, and it's not a matter of it's anything that's wrong. There's a bunch of different ways to do this business. There's a bunch of different ways to generate leads. There's a bunch of different ways to negotiate and acquire properties, depending on how your personality is. There's a bunch of different ways to disposition properties. You can build your own buyers list. You can joint venture, lead generation. You've got driving for dollars and cold calling. You've got text messaging. You've got networking. You've got direct mail. You've got all these different ways to do things, right? And so what ultimately ends up happening is they all look sexy and they all look cool, and we start putting a little effort into one and may not get results. And then we fall down and it's like, well, that didn't work. We're not going to do this. So in order to help, and just like with people in the industry that are building, that my clients that I consult with that are looking to build something greater than where they're currently at, there's a separation of what you're looking to build eventually versus where you're at now. And so just like with new people, we've got, hey, I want to make a bunch of money, doing all these properties, and this is where I'm currently at, right? So we start hitting these walls. Well, the two things that will actually help you not just bust through those ceilings that we put in place, either mentally or emotionally or all that stuff, is number one, look for a process or a path that you really enjoy. And why it's important for you to really enjoy it is because you actually are going to have to take action and put effort in to learn it and build it. You have to become a student of the process. And what I mean by a student of the process is you have to become a student of making it work for you better and better and better consistently. Meaning, hey, I'm doing this, I'm taking action. Okay, this doesn't look like it's working great, so I'm going to shift it here a little bit and continue working the process. You become such a student of making your process work well that you naturally are inclined to grow and build as you continue to move forward and take that process. In marketing, they call it split testing, right? You're doing the same thing with lead generation. You're doing the same thing with acquisitions. You're doing the same thing. The whole key there, though, is have enough excitement. That's the second thing. Have enough excitement that you're going to continue to build. And that's 1A on the first thing. The second thing is build it to your strengths. That's what it is. So do something that excites you, that you want to learn and become a student of the process. And number two, it has to align with how you're designed as a person, that you're going to continue to re-engage that process. So, man, I really love networking with people, but I took this course, or this lead generation process of driving for dollars and cold calling. Well, you're not really building relationships. You're cold calling. You're going to get a lot of rejection. It's a low touch, kind of low conversion rate. But there's people that love being on the phone like that. They love the interaction. They love it's not combative, but it is definitely a different type of environment than going out and building relationships with people that then give you referrals. So it's a matter of what way aligns for you, just like wholesaling versus rehabbing versus rental property versus that's a disposition process. There's a bunch of different ways. So when I consult with people and new people as well, when I talk to them, it's not a matter of, hey, this works super well for me, this is what's going to work for you. No, we have to dig in and we have to actually figure out who we are in this process and figure out how we're actually designed to work and how we're designed to operate to our maximum efficiency so that we can keep re-engaging in that process. Because if I have a strength and I know I'm good at it and I love to do it, then especially in real estate, it's automatically going to make us money, right? So if I'm really good at it, I have a strength in negotiating, talking, dealing with people, then maybe cold calling is the way. Now, if you're really good at talking with people and building deep, meaningful relationships, and you are the first to come to mind whenever they talk to somebody, then it's going to be referrals and networking. Now, if you're not really inclined for either of those, and you really just like building systems and not actually talking to anybody, and you just want an assembly line where somebody clicks on a website and takes them all the way through the process and you can automatically send contracts, then build it that way. But those are the two things that keep people stuck is they don't work to their strengths and maybe because they don't know what their strengths are yet. That's why number 2 is important. What excites you enough that you will re-engage in that process over and over again. So you got to have those two things and they've got to work in conjunction in order to get that third, which is that money or that outcome, whatever you're looking for. What excites you enough to keep engaging in the process? And what are you good at that you know it's going to naturally be inclined to help you get successes as you're building through it? So you've got fulfillment and you've got achievement going at the same time. If you're excited, it's a fulfillment. If you're good at it, it's going to be achievement, right? So those are the two things. And think on that whenever you're moving through it. Now, a third caveat to that is it's also got to be a process right now that is set up to where you'll actually execute it. So the phrase for me that comes up is the best kind of exercise is the exercise you're going to do. It doesn't matter what form it is. It's this exercise you're going to do. You know, taking a 30-minute walk works for some people. Going to the gym works for some people. It's the same thing. It's the same process. It's that barrier of entry that you're willing to actually undertake because it excites you. You like doing it. And it really works for you and it's easy enough to start building. And then you build on that success. When it's easy to get in and you've mastered that level, then you're going to start finding ways to increase your efficiency. You're going to start finding ways to increase your business. You're going to start looking for people to bring on if that's what you're meant to do leadership wise. It's a process, right? So first step, anytime in a transition, you got to find out what excites you, find out what you're good at, find out how to set it up in a way, actually. So it's 3. That's part of the process of setting it up. Set it up in a way that you will actually take those actions. So, you know, for one of my clients I was talking to, it's a matter of like, we can hammer out this big, long laundry list of processes, but really, man, are you going to execute that? Like, does this feel exciting for you? Does it feel like you're going to be like, yeah, I can take that on, strength? Or yeah, I'm really excited to take that on because now I have a process that actually works. Or are you looking at it and going, no, man, that looks terrible. Like that looks like torture to put myself through that process. Well, if that's the case, you're not going to execute it, right? So again, hammer on it. Exciting and your strength. Find out what those two things are for you, and you're going to start producing. You're going to start taking action more frequently, more fluidly, more effortlessly. Taking action more effortlessly. Yeah. And then you just adjust. That's it. Imperfect action. That's all we're looking for, right? Progress over perfection. Take the action, find out what excites you, find out what you're good at. That's all we're doing. All right. So any questions, comment, like on it, disagree with me if this doesn't work for you. If it's all about, no, I'm just about hustle and grind and put your head down and fire, go through it, do it. Whatever. And that's just all this process. All I do with my clients, I just teach them how it works for them in a way that moves them forward. And the only way to know that is to know how you operate, what you enjoy doing, what's going to get you to move that needle so you actually move forward, right? That's all we're doing. Just finding out more about ourselves so we can help other people. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.